Georgia. It's the Georgian in the white judogi, Gogotchuri, and Rajabli in blue. You can see that he's slightly small. You just get the impression that he might be a little bit undersized for 90 kilos. He's normally down at 81.
He's been on the circuit a long time as well, hasn't he? You know, so experienced. He's in here for different reasons. Now, I don't know how they're going to decide which one to send. Or have they already decided, Sheldon?
At 81, I think it's going to be Rajabli. He moved up from 73 to 81, and he's demonstrated that he's got the stuff.
And ahead in the points.
Yeah, ranked number 3 in the world, Rajabli, and Elkhan Rajabli languishing, if you like, down at 27.
So I think it's virtually decided.
He's the national hero, isn't he? Olympic gold medalist and everything.
Well, Olympic gold medalist, and there were only 7 medals in all from Azerbaijan at the last Olympic Games, and only 1 gold, and it was his. So that's why judo so popular in Azerbaijan.
Zviad Gogotchuri, he's in the blue ribbon category for Georgia. I say it's the blue ribbon category because they've owned the under 90 kilo category since Sydney. They won in Athens, they won in Beijing. Athens it was Zurab Zviad. Beijing it was Irakli Sirakidze, and now going into London, the current European champion Varlam Lipatiliani will be representing Georgia.
And I think he's got a great chance as well. He's come through on the best form of his life at the very best time. And I mean, he was, there's a prime example of somebody 2 years ago, you know, looked on the outside, you know, to maybe offer some kind of threat in the future. And the future's here, and the Olympic Games is around the corner. He's hitting the form of his life. It could happen for him.
And he's ranked number 4. Well,
but I mean, he does offer a threat to Iliadis, you know, and it's, you know, I think that Ilias has just got to get his game together. I think he's finding a little bit of a problem coming into this Olympic Games. He's got to go out there and do it again. It's always a problem. The Olympic Games just throws up its own problems.
What's really odd is that that's a matchup that they wanted. The Georgians were talking about it, and it was a matchup that didn't scare them, Lipatiliani against Iliadis, because they feel that the styles are very similar.
Yeah.
They don't want him going against in the early rounds against styles that he's not comfortable with, and he's perfectly comfortable with Iliadis. So we'll see. I mean, that's a big statement to say you're perfectly comfortable with someone like Iliadis.
I know I wouldn't be.
I think I know what they mean, but it just doesn't sound right, does it?
I watch him training. You know, I've been to every training camp over the last 2.5 years, and Iliadis is without doubt one of the hardest trainers in the world. There's nothing that happens to that man that isn't through absolute hard work, grit, and determination, and brilliance as well. You know, he has a brilliance with it, but he has a nice way about him as well. He has a nice way with people. He's really a very warm person, and yeah, he's a good friend. Absolutely. He's a star. I've
seen him at 2 training camps, and the one in Japan was the most interesting to see him. He was, I wouldn't say he was prowling, but he walked with a kind of an air, and as he walked past people, you weren't sure if they wanted. There was a group that wanted to go with him, and this was the group that he tended to walk past and just wave and say, "Nice to see you." And it was the group that had their backs to him that he would tap on the back and say, "Yeah, you're up next."
But there's an arrogance, you know, that is not pleasant, and then there's an arrogance which is acceptable.
Yeah, his warmth is really, it's infectious.
Yeah, I mean, he has that walk, that special walk and confidence because he is the best at the moment, you know, and that's why, you know. But well, he has humility, and that's going to be a big thing for him, you know, when he finishes competition.
Well, that's one of the prospects for London, Iliadis. Into golden score, Gogotchuri and Rajabli.
I saw Adley doing this last year in the higher weight category, and he did very well. I think he medalled, actually, if I remember rightly. $73 kilos to 90 kilos was a little bit strange watching him in the against the much bigger men, but he did very well. But it does make a difference to the whole balance of the techniques that you're trying to perform. You're fighting people just a little bit taller. Now then, they're going to give something now.
Well,
if it's a penalty, it's going to go to Rajabli,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's Rajabli that's got the warning on the board. And when they tell you to do your gi up, that's it. It's all over.
It looks like Rajabli's going to get second penalty.
Yeah.
So Rajabli loses, and he goes out.
He looked a little bit tired, didn't he?
He did, absolutely. It's like I say, the qualification last 12 months has been absolutely horrific. The last few competitions have